What was his name?
Whose name?
I've forgotten the name of my best friend.
Did you ever have a best friend?
The boy who put gloves on the chickens.
Henry.
I keep thinking his name was David.
David Henry, what have you gone and done?
I have not gone and done anything, Mother. I have gone and not done something, which very much needed but not doing.
Oh, good heavens. Louisa, David Henry's gone and not done something again.
Henry David.
David Henry, you're acting strange again.
It was strange. I almost understood it.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I don't know who you are.
I'm myself, Mother. If I'm not, who will be?
When you're baptized, they tell you who you are.
I wasn't listening.
At the christening, you didn't cry once, not once. Reverend Ripley said how remarkable it was for a baby not to cry at a christening.
Do you think I knew what they were doing to me?
I suppose not.
And that's why I didn't cry.
He was the saddest happy man I ever knew.
Happy is sad man, I think.
He worked Sundays and took the rest of the week off. What's this?
It's your cane?
Oh, yes, yes.
I wouldn't mind your being peculiar, but must you work so hard at it, David Henry?
Henry David.
Getting things backward. How did you learn your letters?
Must the alphabet begin with A? Why not with Z? Z is a very sociable letter, like the path of a man wandering in the woods. A is braced and solid. A is a house. I prefer Z. Z-Y-X-W-V-U-T-S.
Oh, dear.
Or mix them up. Start with H. Start with Q.
Cast conformity behind you.
Cast conformity behind you.
Do you know what David Henry's trouble is, John?
What?
He keeps casting conformity behind him.
What the hell? He's been to Harvard.
Never say.
Harvard? I'm sorry, Mother. I'll never say it again. Here's a rare specimen.
There is an infinitude to the private man. If a single man plants himself indomitably on his instincts and there abide, the huge world will come round to him.
And there abide.
Is this one wild or tame? Wild, I think. Known to haunt the woods and ponds. Dull plumage. But a wise bird. Americanus something or other. Ah, I've got it. This is the species brother.
John!
Hey, Henry. Welcome home. How's your overstuffed brain?
Forgotten everything already.
At least you got a diploma. What? No what?
They charge you $1. I wouldn't pay it.
Oh, but how Mama would love your diploma from Harvard on the frame on the wall.
Let every sheep keep his own skin. John, I gotta tell you, I got more from one man, not even a professor, than I learned in 4 years of academic droning and snorting at Cambridge. And the strangest thing was, he wasn't a stranger. I knew him. I'd seen him. You know him. You walk by him in the street. You say hello. He's just a man, just a neighbor. But the man speaks, and a hush falls over all of Harvard. And there's a light about him that comes out of his face. But it's not the light of one man. I swear to you, John, it is the light of all mankind.
Idolater.
Is this the earth?
I hope so.
No. It is you and I and God and Dr. Emerson and the universal mind.
And Aunt Louisa?
Yes, Aunt Louisa too. False teeth and all. Now, I know it isn't easy to think of Aunt Louisa swimming around the Milky Way, but it's the way of things, I'm sure of it.
Well, and if she can't stay afloat, you'll dive in and save her. All right, so now that you turned your backside on Harvard, what are you going to do?
I think I'll think for a while. That'll be a change from college.
All right. But what are you going to be? Do you have any idea at all?
I know exactly. I want to be as much as possible like Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Your lecture was splendid, dear.
I think I read one paragraph twice. I lost my place.
I don't think anyone noticed.
If no one noticed, then no one was listening.
They thought you did it for emphasis.
Did you see that one fellow in the third row with his eyes closed? You don't think he was sleeping, do you?
Concentrating.
My friend,
Why?
everyone has an inalienable right to snore, provided it does not interfere with the inalienable right of others to snore. I couldn't hear what was going on.
Nothing goes on here. Night half the time, then day, then night again. Don't make such difference.
Can you hear that?
I don't hear anything. It's the bird.
It's just a bird. Can you make a cry like that? Or feed on flowers? Or carry the sky on your wings? My friend, you and I can't even fly.
I missed part of that. Guess I'm not full awake.
Nobody is. If I ever met somebody who was fully awake, how could I look them in the face?
What did you do to get yourself locked up?
What do you think?
A man perhaps educated like you? Couldn't have been something small. Must be murder, or worse.
Yep, that's what I done by their lights. Out there in the dark. Murder, or worse. No. I refuse to commit murder. That's why I'm here.
Who they want you to kill?
Mexico?
Who's that?
That's where the war is.
What war?
Friend, this cell may be the only place in the United States that is at peace.
Who's fighting who?
I'm not fighting anybody.
Neither am I.
Yeah, but we got a president who went out and bombed up a war all by himself, with no help from Congress and less help from me.
First I heard of it. Which side you on? Are you one of them?
Them?
Or are you against them?
Well, I'm one of me.
That don't make any sense.
Can you hear that? That is an old friend of mine. He's a night bird. Doesn't have to see where he's going. Or maybe he can see what we can't. Or hear. He's headed for the pond. Have you ever made friends with a loon?
Not till tonight.
Anytime you hear a man called loony, just remember that is a great compliment to the man and a great disrespect to the loon. The loon doesn't wage war. His government is perfect, being non-existent. He is the world's best fisherman and in complete control of his senses. Thank you. What did you do to get yourself locked up?
I'm waiting trial.
What'd you do?
Nothing.
Well, what do they say you did?
Burn down a barn. But I didn't do it. I just snuck in to get some sleep, and I guess the sparks from my pipe fell in the hay, and
Tell him that.
the telling time was a trial. That's what I've been waiting here for 3 months.
You're telling me you've been waiting here 3 entire months, waiting for a chance to say, You're innocent?
That's about it.
That's outrageous. Hey, Staples! Sam Staples!
Hey, don't make such a ruckus. I just want to earn my keep, get along, and make a little tobacco money.
Get along. You know, those words turn my stomach. Bailey? What do you hear?
Footsteps, I guess.
Of what?
I don't know, a man?
And where's he going?
How should I know?
I'll tell you where he's going. He's going where he's supposed to go. So he can be where he's supposed to be. At the time, he's supposed to be there. And why? So he'll be liked. My God, a whole country of us who only want to be liked. But to be liked, you must never disagree. And if you never disagree, it's like only breathing in and never breathing out. A man can suffocate on courtesy. What if God wanted to be liked instead of loved? What if the Almighty delayed every decision until he was sure it would please the majority? Great Wales may have offended some legislature which God knew would rise up someday and speak endlessly of the common good. Common good be damned. Give me something magnificently uncommon.
I don't understand what you're saying, but it's a marvel to hear the way the words roll out.
I'll put it in plain Anglo-Saxon, Miss Bailey. You're an uncommon woman. You were protesting against the barn builder who shut you in with clabbered and daily working hours.
Well, don't say that to no judge. If I burn down a barn, they'll throw me in jail.
Where do you think you are? You might as well have done the deed you didn't do.
I'm not someone who goes around burning things down.
Good for you. Fire inside burns hotter than fire outside. A man's convictions are stronger than flames, or rock walls, or bullets.
Feels good to talk to a smart fella.
Yeah, well, I wonder if they'll keep me locked up for 3 months waiting trial. And I wonder who would read my bean patch. Of course, I might get some brain work done.
I bet you can even write.
Sometimes.
If I could write my name, I'd die happy.
Then you'd be better off than most writers. Of course, Bailey's not a hard name.
I know the start of it. It's the start of the alphabet, backwards.
I can teach you the rest.
Oh, David Henry's an expert at getting things backward.
B, A.
That's all I know.
Okay. Who's Bailey?
I am.
Well, that's your next letter. I. I am I.
How do you write it?
Simple as a beanpole, straight up and down. B, A, I. Look, you're halfway through your name already. So we turn the corner, like this. That's L. B, A, I, turn the corner. Now here's a rough one. Hey, how much hair have you got?
Enough to comb.
Aha, that's it. There it is, E. And now that we're all through, we want a nice tree to sit under, so we'll make a beanpole and put some branches on top. That's why.
Jehoshaphat, you make it so simple. B, A, beanpole, turn the corner, comb, and tree.
You got it. Now you can write your name, Bailey.
I'll leave this jail an educated woman. You must be a teacher.
Being a teacher is like being in prison. Once it's on your record, you can never get rid of it. God? What do you think?
Well, I asked Reverend Williams, but he said I shouldn't doubt because that's atheism, like he calls it. But why should I be so quick to believe what I can't see?
What you can't see, huh? Students, hold your hands up in front of you like this. Now, is there anything between my nose and my fingers?
Nothing, sir.
Nothing. My young friends, there are millions of tiny dancing particles whizzing back and forth, running into each other, bouncing off. Stars, worlds, planets, universes right here. And now, I give you a mystery. How do we know that these particles are there?
How, indeed?
Oh, we have a surprise guest in our classroom today. It's the chairman of the Concord School Committee, Deacon Nehemiah Ball.
I'm not here to interrupt your scheduled curriculum.
Oh, thank you, sir. In recent years,
Just an observer, that's all I am.
these particles are...
Try to forget I'm in the room.
We will, sir. Now, in recent years, scientists have
How
discovered
is it that I see no school books open here?
Oh, we are huckleberrying, sir.
You're what?
We are scrambling for ideas. The way we hunt for huckleberries in the woods.
That's no way to learn anything. All they need to know is clearly spelled out in the approved school text.
Oh, Deacon Ball. Young Potter here was just asking me if I really think there is a God.
Young heathen.
He simply wondered why, since we never see God, should we believe he exists?
Matters of theology, boy, are discussable with your spiritual leader.
Oh, he already asked his spiritual leader, but the Reverend whoever it is now called him an atheist for committing the primary sin of doubt. Potter, I will try to answer you the same way I once replied to the same question put to me by an annoying, inquisitive young man, myself.
Will this be a theological opinion?
It will be a human opinion. Now, if I go into a shop and I see all the nicely finished wheels, gears, pinions, springs of a watch lying spread out on a bench, then later find them put together exactly, working in unison to move the hands across the dial and show the passage of time, do I believe that these pieces have been flung together by blind chance? Certainly not. I believe that somebody with thought and plan and power has been there, and intelligence.
An intelligence governs the universe. And in this worship service, we celebrate our gratitude towards this intelligence. Let us pray.
Nor do I believe that the sun rising above Concord this morning was an accident. I hope you saw it, Potter. And you too, Deacon Ball. Oh, it was a brilliant sunrise. We are all related, Mr. Potter. And interrelated to the universal mind.
That's atheism.
You know, I've often wondered, Deacon Ball, if atheism might even be popular with God himself.
Transcendental blasphemy.
The universal mind is the divine part of all of us, and we partake, knowingly or not, in the wonder of the universal mind.
Does all this make any sense to you, Potter?
I think so, sir.
Makes no sense to me. You will teach the textbook, sir.
I find your textbook somewhat behind the century.
You find them so,
Yes, sir, I do.
and you choose to ignore the books which have been proscribed by the school committee.
My students have the ache of curiosity, which I'm afraid your proscriptions will not cure.
Silence! You will show respect for your elders, and you, schoolmaster, will teach strictly according to text. No huckleberrying.
But, you've heard the deacon, we must stick to the approved books. Your eyes must not wander from the page to look at a leaf or an unauthorized butterfly. You must not smell a flower or listen to a cricket or smell a flower that has not been approved by the school committee. You'd better close both your ears and hold your nose, though you may have to grow an extra hand to do it.
Silence! Is this the badges we show to the municipality which feeds your mind? Make them be silent, sir! The unruliness in this classroom will most certainly be reported to the full school committee, which I plan to call into extraordinary session tonight.
Henry, give the man a penny apology. 2 cents worth of humility,
Oh, why should I?
so they won't cut you off from the class. If you're stubborn, what happens when Potter has questions?
Deacon Ball, I'm sorry you've had such a rather ragged time in our classroom today. I've meant no offense to you or to the school committee.
Well, we've come to expect a certain degree of unruliness from Harvard men.
Your apology shows that you recognize this flaw within your character, but your students don't have Harvard as an excuse. They must be punished.
Whoa, what?
They must be punished for showing irreverence to authority.
No, sir.
I beg your pardon?
I said no, I do not believe in corporal punishment.
What you believe is irrelevant. Your opinion as a teacher has not been asked for. I direct you to flog.
Why?
It is policy. Offending students are whipped.
And what could that teach them?
Obedience. Equality essential among subordinates, whether they be pupils in a classroom or soldiers on a battlefield.
They are not training to be soldiers, not my students.
These young people are not yours. They have been sent to you by the tax-paying citizens of Concord, who expect you to abide by the rules laid down by the school committee. Perform your duty, Schoolmaster Thoreau, if you expect to retain your post in this community.
Four of you. Any four. Come forward, it doesn't matter who. You have all been accused of the damning crimes of laughter, curiosity, and candid self-expression. Gilson, Sprecher, Hatfield, Potter.
I congratulate you. I'm happy to report to the school committee that Schoolmaster Thoreau
has administered the sacrament of the classroom and resigned his position as a teacher in the public schools of Concord.
But I cannot comply with custom. I cannot perform the rites required of me by this congregation, for I have searched scriptures and can find nothing that requires us to endlessly reenact the ceremony of the Last Supper. Intellectually, emotionally, spiritually, I cannot administer the sacrament. So, I resign as pastor of Second Unitarian Church of Boston.
I shall never teach again.
I shall never preach again.
Have you ever noticed, John, how much Mr. Emerson talks like our David Henry?
School doesn't need a school committee, or trustees, or governors, or lumber, or approved textbooks. All the school needs is a mind that sends, minds that receive.
Nobody can teach anybody anything.
Of course not. That's why you have to teach them to teach themselves.
Our own school, John. No buildings. Break out of the classroom prison. All we need is sky.
Right.
The universe can be our schoolroom, John. The great vast world of the Concord countryside. Students, watch, notice, observe, see what is happening around you. Did you ever have any idea so much was going on in Haywood's Meadow? I'll venture even Haywood doesn't know. The cypripedium is already in flower. Last year, it didn't bloom until tomorrow. Do you know how few people know what we've just discovered? Stumbling on the first morning of a new flower? Most of Concord, too busy eating meals or going to the post office. Oh, I would be sad and sorry to know that, to remember that I was once in the world and noticed nothing remarkable, not so much as a prince in disguise. John, are you a prince in disguise?
Of course.
Wouldn't it be dreadful if I had lived in the golden age as a hired man? Or visited Olympus and fell asleep after dinner? Missing out on the conversation of the gods. Or imagine having lived in Judea 1,800 years ago, never knowing Jesus, was my contemporary. What are you doing?
I'm writing
What?
what you've been saying, so I'll remember.
Well, don't just write what I'm saying. Remember what I am talking about. Who's that?
It's a girl.
Is she she belong to us? Is she one of our students?
I wouldn't mind, would you?
Excuse me, miss, but I think you're a little bit old to be a member of this class.
Henry, a young lady is never too old for anything.
It's just that most of our students, you see, are 12 or thereabouts, and you're not exactly thereabouts.
Does it make so much difference, really? I just want to come along and listen and watch. I won't be any bother for asking questions.
Why not?
My little brother is the only one who has the right to ask questions. He's paying tuition.
You're Sewell.
How did you know that?
If I can spot a cypripedium, I can spot a Sewell.
Well, we have one rule in this classroom, no rules. So, of course, you can come along whenever you like.
What about tuition?
You've already paid it. If you were ugly, we'd charge you. Or 12, or thereabouts.
You're John Thoreau,
At your service?
and you're the thundercloud, Henry.
What previous educational experience have you had?
Finishing school.
Oh, dear God.
I survived.
Miss Sewell, I must warn you, John and I are not finishers. Nobody leaves us with a smooth surface. We rough up the consciousness, scrape the moss off young minds.
Please, Mr. Thoreau, go back to your students. I've interrupted.
Of course you have. Every creative event that ever happened in the world has been an interruption, unexpected, unplanned for. The only people who get any place interesting are the people who get lost. That's why the planets are so much better company than the stars. They keep wandering back and forth across the sky, and you never know where you're going to find them. Students, we have another Sewell, Edmund's sister.
If anyone asks, she came alone,
Oh?
against father's wishes.
Well, does your father know?
Might be best for him not to, Mr. Henry. Father doesn't think highly of Harvard men.
Have you a first name?
Ellen.
Ellen Sewell. Now, our textbook, Miss Sewell, is Haywood's Meadow, approved by the Almighty, if not by the school committee. Now, in this single pasture, we have 300 distinct and separate varieties of grass. I know, I've cataloged them myself. There's camel grass, candy grass, cloud grass, cowquake, mouse barley, foxtail, London lace, devil's knitting needle, feathertop, timothy, barnyard grass, and clover's enough to sweeten the bellies of all the lambs since creation. John, look at this. What do you think it
I
is?
have never seen that before. Would you like to buy that?
It's Coex lacrima jovi.
But what's its Latin name?
We call it, sadly, Job's tears. Students, pardon me. We are in the midst of 301 varieties of God-made grasses. And I hear you are writing again.
Just Job's tears.
Why?
When you go to school, you're supposed to write things down so you remember what you've been taught.
But then isn't it the notebook that does the remembering and not you?
You keep a notebook.
Yes, but I also wear a ridiculous straw hat. That does not mean you should wear a ridiculous straw hat. You'd look ridiculous in it. Now, nature did not stuff this meadow full of identical blades of grass, each an imitation of the other. They're all different. Although the leader is not the game we are playing here. Young lady, please be your own man.
Henry, don't shout at her.
I won't take notes, I promise you. Not one.
Why not? If you want to take notes, go ahead. But not because I am or because I told you to. Miss Sewell, I want you to be yourself, not your idea of what you think is someone else's idea of yourself. Perhaps, students, Miss Sewell's interruption has given us the essence of the textbook we call Haywood's Meadow. The multiple grasses beneath our feet, the infinity of the sky above us. And if I have jotted down a note about a cloud flame or the sunlight on bird wings, don't you write just because I am writing. Don't ape me or copy me. And if you wish merely to listen to the sky, or smell the sky, or feel the sky on your fingertips, do that too, because I think there should be as many different persons in the world as possible. So each of you, be very careful to find out and pursue your own way.
Bailey. Look at me. I can write. I can do it all by myself.
Don't learn to write your name.
I already learned.
Can you unlearn it? Writing your name can only lead to writing sentences. And the next thing you'll be doing is writing paragraphs. And then books. And then you'll be in as much trouble as I am.
You write books?
Yes.
Ooh, wait. If my mama lived to see me sitting in the same jail cell as a man who wrote a book, she'd be proud of me. Tell me something. Do you make up all the words yourself?
Well, every now and then I'll throw in a word or two that's been used before. The base trick is to pick the right words and put them in the right order.
Must be a fortune in it. I hear tell some books cost more than $1.
Yeah, but they haven't been perfected yet. They have to put legs on them. As it is now, a book just sits in a shop and has to wait for someone with legs on to come in and find it.
Oh?
Yeah, right now my first book, also my last book, was a very stationary model. The printer came out with 1,000 copies, gave me the privilege of paying for the printing. So, copies that didn't sell, they belonged to the author and came running home to me, legs or not. Breakdowns, baby. I have a library of nearly 900 volumes, 700 of which I wrote myself. Miss Bailey, give up your literary career. John?
Yes?
Today, I thought we'd make a complete circuit of the pond. If this boat isn't large enough for our whole class, I'll take the first trip, you take the second.
It will be large enough.
Have we lost another student?
No. We lost 2.
Good. Education should not be a mass process.
With us, it isn't.
The whole idea of our school is that the size of the classroom goes larger and larger.
And the size of the class grows smaller and smaller.
How many do we actually have left?
Well, Mother has the name of a new family that moved to Concord recently.
How many children?
Be patient, Henry. The wife is pregnant.
Where are you going?
To the pencil factory.
Why?
I think it might be a little overpowering to have twice as many teachers as students.
Mr. Thoreau?
Oh, good. Oh, morning.
I came to tell you you shouldn't wait for Edmund. Just go ahead and start the class without him. He won't be coming today.
I do hope he's not ill.
No, it's my father.
He's ill?
Not exactly. Father's worried because he thinks Edmund's learning too much.
Well, that's good news. I always thought Edmund was a bit sluggish myself, compared with other students. When we had other students to compare him with. Tell your father not to worry. I'll slow down with Edmund.
I'm afraid Father doesn't want want him to come to your school at all anymore.
Your father's opposed to knowledge, is he?
No, he's opposed to transcendentalists. That's what he says you are, and your brother too. A whole family afflicted with transcendentalism.
And what the devil does your father think transcendentalism is?
I asked him, and he tried to explain it to me. And the more he explained, the less I understood it. Father has a gift that way.
A born non-teacher. Miss Sewell, you get into the boat.
Oh?
Since I find myself unexpectedly unemployed, I shall take you on a voyage of exploration. No tuition charge. Ready? Hold on. I'll row. You keep your eye on the line between the water and the sky. Now, there used to be a row of cedars on that far shore over there, but we lost that link with Lebanon.
Where have they gone?
Into firewood, up in smoke, into houses. You know what we're doing, Miss Sewell? We're poisoning paradise. Shearing off the wood, making the poor earth fall before her time.
But we have to have houses, Mr. Thoreau. Or should we all live in caves?
What's the use of having a house if you have not got a tolerable planet to put it on? Did you know that the trees cry out in pain when they're cut? I know. I've heard them. But what bells in town toll for them? We prosecute people for abusing children. We ought to prosecute them for maltreating nature.
My father says God put everything here for men to use.
And did the good Father put us here to root and snort and glut ourselves like pigs? No, actually, pigs are better. Pigs may be the most respectable part of the population. At least they consume the rubble instead of contributing to it. You all hear that? There goes a carload of two-legged pigs oinking off to market, shackling the landscape with their tracks.
I rather like the railroad, far better than horse and carriage.
Why?
It's smoother and much faster.
And dirtier and uglier. Thank goodness man has not learned to fly. He'd lay waste the sky as well as the earth. Chop down the clouds.
Is that in transcendentalism, Mr. Thoreau?
No. Well, yes. Take your father, for instance. Do you love the man?
Of course.
Why?
He's my father.
Is he beautiful?
Dear me, no.
Does he create beauty, paint, or play an instrument, or compose musicals?
No.
Can he soar like that bird, or swim like that fellow down there?
He can swim a little. He used to, but not like that fish.
Nevertheless, you love him.
Of course.
Your love transcends what your father is and what he is not. Every consciousness is capable of extending beyond itself. Hold on, I've lost you. Put your hand in the water. When you touch bottom,
It's too deep.
for the length of your arm, not for the length of your mind. Miss Sewell, why should your reach stop with your skin? When you transcend the limits of yourself, you can cease merely living and begin to be.
I don't mind living.
Yeah, but being is so much more interesting.
I'm a little bit afraid just to be.
Think how free it is if you're never afraid.
Aren't you ever afraid?
Yes, I'm afraid. I might live right through this moment and only live. Look at you and only see you. Oh, it doesn't hurt at all to look at you, believe me. But what if there's more and I miss it?
Miss what?
What if all that is beautiful in woman, in the world, or world, what if all of it is totaled up in this space here in front of me, and I am empty enough to think I am merely seeing one face.
That's transcendentalism?
If you like.
I don't think that's wicked. I think it's rather nice.
Who says it's wicked?
Father, last night at the dinner table, Edmund gave Father a sermon on the oversoul.
Good for Edmund. Most dining rooms are tabernacles where only the father gets the pulpit.
Oh, Father got it right back. He was still shouting at breakfast. He broke off with an incomplete sentence last night and picked it right up this morning at porridge.
Oh, now, I'm a little older than Edmund, but I have yet to hear the first syllable of sound advice from my elders. We are born as innocents. We are polluted by advice. Here is life before us, like the surface of this pond, inviting us to sail on it. A voyage, an experiment, waiting to be performed. Has your father ever tried it before? Well, that's no help to me or to you. Keep your innocence, Edmund.
Ellen.
Ellen, yes. You look very much alike, you know. It's the eyes. You both listen with your eyes.
I have to go back.
Why?
Father expects me?
Surprise him.
Edmund did. He's braver than I am.
Stand up to your father.
Please, Mr. Thoreau, not at the boat. Will you row me back to shore, please?
No. Listen to me. If I were to say, I love you, Sewell, Miss Sewell, Ellen, you wouldn't think much of it as a statement of fact if you knew it was just an echo, a mouthing of something somebody told me to say. But if I were to say, I love you out of myself, out of my experience, or lack of it, out of my innocence, then you and God had better believe me.
Henry's in love!
Oh, who's he in love with?
A girl.
Oh, thank God.
I am not one of your fish, nor one of your birds, Mr. Thoreau. So I can neither swim nor fly back to dry land. I must simply sit here and hope that you are gentleman enough to row me ashore.
Miss Sewell, I apologize. And I will row you to shore on one condition.
I have to accept it.
Come to church on Sunday.
You don't go to church.
Of course not. Who could stand sitting in a pew, having the Sabbath despoiled by another dull sermon?
But still, you invite me to church.
Yes, I invite you to church with John. We look very much alike, you know. And if you find a single syllable in me worth writing in your notebook, you'll find paragraphs of it in John. Where I am cantankerous, he's amiable. Where I am thorn and bramble, he is a well-tended garden. And where I am a bare hill in winter, he is spring's flowering pasture.
How do you know that your brother would want to take me to church?
Don't you recall that day in Haywood's Meadow when he proposed to you?
He barely spoke to me.
Ah, that's why you didn't hear him. You missed the splendid eloquence of his silence. Here we are.
Good day, Mr. Thoreau. Thank you for making transcendentalism so clear.
Did I? If there's anything I missed, just ask Edmund.
What will happen to your school?
I think I'll go back to it. I think maybe I can learn from nature. A pasture can be raucous with flowers and not make a single sound. But a man, presumably wiser than a daffodil, can beat so loudly on the eardrums that nobody can hear what he's trying to say. Bailey, what do you think of marriage? That seems to be the unanimous majority opinion. Can you hear that? I don't think I've ever felt those waves of sound from the clock tower before. That's ridiculous, that a man has to be put inside a stone box before he can hear the music of his own village. Thank you, Concord. Thank you for locking me up so I'm free to hear what I've never heard before. You put me behind iron bars and walls 4 feet thick. How do you know that I'm not the free one? The freest man in the world. And you, out there, are chained to what you have to do Monday morning? Speak softly, Concord. I can hear you breathing. Quiet, Bailey. We who are free should listen to the cries of the imprisoned.
Tell me, Dr. Emerson, what is the feeling of a clergyman when he hears another pastor in the pulpit?
Relief
That you don't have to give the sermon?
that it's over.
Oh, David Henry, not on Sunday.
It is Sunday, isn't it? Have all of you been shut up inside on this beautiful day? What a pity, what a pity.
We've been feeding our souls.
How selfish of you. I've been feeding the flora of Concord, bringing loaves and fishes to the lads.
Labor on the Sabbath and the devil's in Massachusetts!
Henry worships in the woods.
Then what do we have churches for?
I sometimes wonder.
Dr. Emerson means that the good Lord is everywhere.
The Lord I know rested on the seventh day.
Why, Deacon Bowl, you're older than I thought. For you and me, Deacon, the Declaration of Independence was written long ago. Young Thoreau has to declare his every day, Sundays included. So what's the harm if he sweats his psalms instead of singing them?
Oh, David Henry, why did God and I have to make you so peculiar? And dear Lord, please don't let John get too strange. And perhaps, if it's not too much trouble, you could slip the word yes into that young lady's mouth. Amen.
She said yes. Congratulations, I am happy for you, John. Now, are you going to do it right away? Or are you going to go through all those tribal rites of posting the band and all that primitive nonsense? She said yes, of course.
She said,
Well, she did didn't say no.
Well, no. She didn't say no.
What the devil did she say?
She quoted her father.
Oh, heavenly? Or here?
Yeah, the one her mother married.
And what did old Porch Face have to say?
He said, she told me that he said, marriage to either of the Thoreau brothers would be unthinkable.
Amen. The Thoreau brothers never had any intention of marrying her father.
Yeah.
But she stood up to him.
I wasn't there, but evidently she sat down.
So, you wasted 6 good summer Sundays taking her to church?
Well, first of all, I did not pray.
Amen.
I sat there gazing at that face out of the corner of my eye and wondering, what is she thinking? And then I realized she wasn't thinking at all.
She's just a girl, and who'd want a wife that went around thinking?
Come on. When I asked her to marry me, she said, oh, dear. And I thought she was being affectionate. And then I realized that she just really said, oh, dear.
Say what?
Well, then she said, well, why doesn't Henry ask me to marry him? I said, well, if he did, would you say yes? And she said, well, no. So why doesn't he ask me anyhow?
It's an outrage. She wants to wear both our scalps on her petticoat strings.
She wouldn't marry me, and she won't marry you. But I think she'd marry us in a minute.
Don't you think that may be carrying Unitarianism too far?
But then I killed it. I destroyed it. I laughed. Bigger. Oh, not at her, the dear girl. Oh, at us. I almost broke the most sacred Thoreau family tradition. Celibacy.
You're a good-hearted man, John. You saved the girl from marrying a monk.
Or a pair of them.
Who in our brood has ever committed a marriage?
Mama and Papa.
Yeah, only legally, except for a couple of slips that's brought about you and me. Oh. Yeah, Papa is pure bachelor, and Mama is the living pillar of spinsterhood. Thanks to your very courageous inaction, the Thoreaus remain a race of maiden aunts and bachelors. All of us, December virgins.
Did I ever tell you about that April afternoon?
Oh,
the course, like with Joe Byers and flowers.
If father can falter, so can you.
It makes for a rather lonely-looking future, though, doesn't it?
Lonely? Never. Why? When I'm 90, and you're a mere infant of 88,
yeah.
you'll come round and comfort me.
When you're 90, I'll be a mere infant of 92.
And that's the time we'll both go after the hand of Dame Sewell.
Shipperpedium Sewell!
Unto Almighty God we commend the spirit of our brother departed, John Thoreau, and we commit his body to the ground in the sure and certain hope of the resurrection unto eternal life. Let us pray.
Pray with me, David Henry. Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name.
I can't, Mother. I can't pray.
It helps.
Does it? I prayed before, and what good did it do?
We should pray for John's soul.
Oh, John's soul can take care of itself.
We should pray for understanding.
I understand. God has stopped listening, if he ever did listen. What kind of God could fail to see the godliness in John? I can't pray to him, Mother. Pray for both your sons. he died.
I was in Winthrop. I didn't even hear about it until after the funeral.
We managed.
Didn't anybody know beforehand?
Would you like a medical report? To feed a morbid curiosity?
Even though I couldn't marry him.
Oh, couldn't you? That's your business.
Henry, don't be so selfish with your sorrow. I care too.
Oh, he had a glamorous death, like the knights at the Table Round who slashed each other with rusty swords until they all died of blood poisoning.
I don't understand.
John, 3 mornings ago, happened to think of something very funny while he was shaving. He burst out laughing and cut himself. The razor was old and vicious, and it despised the blood in his veins. And would you like the details? The spasms, the retching, the murderous ineptitude of the doctors, the paralysis of the tongue, the choking, the clamping of the jaw, the blood-black face, the eyes screaming for oxygen!
Henry!
If a lightning bolt had struck him, that may have been worthy of the size of the man. But a nick on the finger from a dull razor? What an indignity! What kind of God could drain away such youth, energy, and laughter? It was a sneak attack from the Almighty. You played, Job, but you spared him! Why couldn't you have been as fair with John?
I wonder if God lets us be hurt so we can learn to transcend pain. In the boat, I didn't understand really. But is it possible, Henry, that even though he stopped living, John continues to be?
Well, what sort of work would you like to do?
Anything. I wish to use my hands.
And what about your head?
It could come in handy for burrowing, perhaps. Or I could feed it into a plowshare. It may be a better tool than it has been for thinking.
You're giving up thinking?
For this lifetime, yes.
We could use a handyman, Lydian. Mrs. Emerson will tell you that of all God's creatures, I am the least handy of men. My skill of carpentry ends at cutting cheese.
There's a lot that needs doing around here. The wall by the back meadow needs mending.
Oh, I'm a mason.
You are?
Well, I'm not a mason, but I do masonry.
The weeds are at war with the marigolds. And last I looked, the weeds were winning.
Well, they're doomed. Being a weed myself, I'll infiltrate their ranks.
What about children?
Some are weeds, some need weeding.
You've had experience with it?
I was a child myself once, briefly.
It will be so good to have Edith have someone who could take her boating and hiking. Dr. Emerson has so little time to be a father. He's busy with his lectures and writing.
when I'm teaching your daughter, Dr. Emerson, I may turn my brain back on temporarily.
I think this will prove to be a very good arrangement. Of course, there's the matter of compensation.
Oh, I've been paid with something far more extraordinary than money and more valuable. The words you fling into an audience from the lecture platform. You don't know what happens to them, do you? Much like the Roman emperors never knew what happened to the coins. They scattered to the crowd as they rode through the streets.
The Roman emperors were trying to buy popularity.
And the poor fools only had gold. No wonder Rome fell. But I sat on the grass at Harvard Yard and heard you speak for the first time. I was at the very edge of the assembly, but I think I caught more coins than those right at the wheels of your chariot.
This could prove interesting, having a Harvard man as a handyman. I'm vain, you know, of necessity. I'm not as lucky as the Romans. I have to mint all my own coins. So a man sits at his desk constantly wonders, is it gold or is it tin?
I apologize. It was a faulty metaphor. Money is merely money. You can't spend a thought for though it still belongs to you, though it makes other men rich.
You're thinking, Mr. Thoreau. Incidentally, if we're going to have you around here, you, your hands, your head, I can't possibly go on calling you Mr. Thoreau. Your mother calls you David, I believe?
I call myself Henry.
My mother called me Ralph. You may call me Walter. And Lydian, of course, is Lydian. And Edith. Where's Edith? Edith!
I think it's important that you and Edith meet to make sure you're companionable.
Why wouldn't they be?
Yes, sir.
A firm handshake for Mr. Thoreau, Edith. You two are going to be very good friends.
I don't see why not.
Edith, isn't it nice to have a new family member?
Yes, ma'am.
But of course, we cannot pay Henry the same generous salary we pay Edith, which is nothing.
Not true. Every Saturday morning, wet or fair, Edith gets a shiny new dime,
I do?
which I promptly put in the bank for her.
Some weeks she's overpaid.
That will be all, Edith. Back to your studies.
Yes, Father.
If it will make it any easier for you, I will take the same pay as Edith and try to be worth it.
Henry, you're not a very good businessman.
Oh, I'm not a businessman at all. If you do not pay me a regular salary, I won't feel obliged to keep regular hours. I like a broad margin to my life.
Then you must have compensation.
But must it be money? Could it be, how far does it extend, your back meadow?
To the woods.
Including the woods?
A section of it. To the shore of the pond.
Perhaps, if my work has been useful to you, and we remain friends, I may ask you for a bit of your woods. Just a small square of it, no bigger than this room. And not as a gift. I don't want to own it. Simply an understanding between friends who know that the land really belongs to the woodchucks anyway.
Well, what will you do with it?
I don't know. It's an idea I have, an experiment.
Good thinking, Henry. You're thinking way up ahead for your retirement.
Retirement. Now that's an absurd idea. Why spend the best part of your life earning money so you can enjoy a questionable liberty during the least valuable part of it? Why work like a dog so you can pant for a moment or two before you die?
Carlyle told me of an Englishman who went off to India, Punjab he called it, to make a fortune so he could retire to the Lake Country and live the life of a poet.
Oh, if he had a poem in him, he should have rushed straight up to his garret.
He should have. He died in the Punjab, immensely wealthy, but without a sonnet to his name.
Can we give Henry the parcel of woods for his experiment?
Well, I don't know what kind of experiment you have in mind, but if the woodchucks don't mind, why should I?
Thank you, Dr. Thank you, Waldo.
I don't have time to make a list of all that needs to be doing around here. Lydian, could you go into details with that?
Don't make a list. Things will tell me what needs to be done.
Oh, what a relief. The hell of having people help you is that they're always completing what you give them to do, and then they come knocking at your door asking what they should be doing next, right in the middle of when you are doing what you should be doing next.
I respect a man's privacy. I'll never knock on the door of your study.
Don't be too much of a stranger, Henry. I may interrupt your work from time to time and ask you to mend a wall or pull a few weeds in a lecture I'm writing.
I'm not a polite man. I'll be as frank with you as I am with your back meadow.
Most people won't understand that young man. He doesn't want anything.
Perhaps he wants too much.
What time is it?
Where were you planning on going?
Back to sleep, but I'd like to know how much the night has swum by.
Well, in Samarkand, it's not quite noon.
Is that near Boston?
It's about as far away from Boston as you can get before you start coming back to Boston again.
I never understood how it could be one time here and another somewhere else. Isn't it just now all over?
Well, you're wiser than most who wear watches. I don't see what good it does to hang numbers on the hours. You can't count a river while it flows by you. The best thing to do is to take off your clothes and go swimming in it. And when you feel the water all around you, where it's been, where it is, where it's going, you plunge in.
I don't swim good.
Well, there's no trick. Well, yes, there is one trick. You cannot struggle with the water. If you fling your arms and thrash and fight the stream, it fights back and you go under.
That one's gone pretty far under.
Drowned and drunk with ale and civilization.
Do you drink?
Do you?
When I can afford it.
Oh, it doesn't cost anything to be drunk. It needn't, it shouldn't. Anybody can be drunk all the time. Where I live, you can get drunk on the air.
Where's that? When they let me out, maybe I'll come and join you. When they let you out, where's it at?
In the woods, by a pond.
All? In the woods, away from everything?
Yeah, where I live, I have plenty of company, but there are no people.
Don't you get scared? At night, all alone?
Why be afraid? The witches are all hung. Christianity and candles have been invented.
Do you live there all the time?
All the time.
It's always been a wonder to me how a man can get himself the money to own a house that belongs to him.
Do you want to hear how much my mansion cost me? $28, 12 1/2
Man almighty! I always thought a house cost a fortune. $100 or more. How do you eat?
Very well. I have a bean patch, some Indian corn. Every now and then Walden offers up a fish.
What happens in the winter?
It snows. So, I don't even have to go to the pond for fresh water. I just reach out the door for a handful of snow, melt it, and it's as sweet as the sky. Oh, there are a few things that you need in town, so you walk into town.
You've condescended to pay a call on civilization, Mr. Thoreau.
Briefly and reluctantly.
How is life among the savages?
If I'm in Concord long enough, Equal, I may find out.
Hello, Henry.
Hey, hi, Sam.
What's wrong with your foot?
Foot's fine. Got a sick shoe. Cobbler will cure it.
Henry, I got something here for you.
Oh?
Listen, Henry, I know you're a forgetful man, and you're busy out there talking to the birds, writing about the fish, doing whatever it is you do out there by yourself. It may not occur to you to think about your taxes.
No, I don't think much of taxes, Sam.
But they're gonna be paid.
Why?
Because it's the law. Now, I know you're a forgetful man, but it may not occur to you, Henry, you ain't paid your taxes in 2 years.
2? 6.
Now, looky here, Henry. got a court order, and I gotta serve it on you. Here.
Well. Thanks, Sam. Hey, that fits just fine. It's exactly what I needed.
No,
I may not have to go to the cobbler after all.
Henry, that's a court order. You just can't go walking on it like that.
And why not? Best thing I've ever got from the government. Most practical, anyhow.
Now, Henry, it ain't pleasurable serving a court order on you. Sometimes it's the most unpleasant job.
Then quit. If you don't like being constable, Sam, resign.
Somebody has to do the work of the people.
Oh, you work for the people, do you?
Yes, sir.
Well, I'm people, and you don't have to work for me. And if it will make you happier, I will fire you.
Are you gonna pay your taxes, Henry, or ain't you?
You pay your taxes, Sam?
If I didn't pay my taxes, I'd have to arrest myself.
Are you going to arrest me, Sam?
I don't want to arrest you, Henry. The government gets persnickety, especially when there's a war going on. Now listen, ain't much sum of money. If you want, I'll pay.
Oh, don't you dare!
It would just be a loan. You can pay me back.
Whoa. I won't pay one copper penny to an unjust government. I wouldn't pay the tithe and tariff to the church, so I signed off from the church. Well, I'm ready to sign off the government right now, Sam. Where do I sign? Where?
Henry, you just can't do that.
Why not?
Listen, even the president has to obey the laws.
Oh, the poor president. Oh, what? With preserving his popularity and doing his duty, the president does not know what he is doing.
Even the majority
Oh,
says.
the majority? I'm the majority. I'm the majority of one.
Arrest him! I don't want to arrest him.
Go ahead, constable. An honest man can't even walk into town to have his shoes fixed, not even a pair, one shoe, without his neighbors coming around to paw him with their dirty institutions. I tell you this, if 1,000, if 100, if 10 men, 10 honest men only, if one honest man in this state of Massachusetts had the conviction and the courage to withdraw from this unholy institution and have himself be thrown in the jail, it'd be the start of more true freedom than we've seen since a few farmers had the guts to block the British by the bridge up the road.
Lawbreaker!
What law ever made men free? It is men who have to make the law free. And if the law is wrong, by heaven, it is the duty of man to stand up and say so. Even if your odd-fellow society wants to clap him in a jail.
That's revolution.
Yes, ma'am, that's revolution. And what do you think happened at Concord Bridge? A tea party?
What are you trying to do, Henry? Wipe out all the laws?
Oh, yes, as many as possible.
What is all this stew about?
He don't want to pay his taxes.
Neither do I.
Yeah, but he ain't paid his.
Henry, it would upset your ma if you went run amok against society.
Yeah, society's run amok against me. I'm just walking to the cobbler, minding my own business. I ask nothing from the government. Why should it take from me?
Throw him in jail!
What you waiting for, Sam? Break out your chain. Throw me in jail.
There must be just something almighty wrong when a man is so willing to go.
Sam, it's really simple. What this government is doing turns my stomach. And if I keep my mouth shut, then I'm a criminal. To my conscience, to my God, to society, and to you, Sam Staples. You all want $1 from me, and I do not approve of the way that dollar is being spent. You're not gonna get it.
I can't figure out what makes you so ornery,
Have
Henry.
you heard what they're doing down in Washington?
I don't get a chance to read the paper that much, and I read awfully.
Open up your ears then, Sam, and find out what he's up to, your hired man down in the White House.
He's not just my president, Henry. He's you're president too.
No, sir. I'm not paying his salary. Mr. President, you're fired.
Nah, Henry. Nah. You think highly of Dr. Emerson, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah, he's paid his taxes.
Well, that's his problem. I am not paying mine.
You know, it just ain't fitting to throw a Harvard man in jail, especially a Thoreau. Henry, an honester man than you, I just never knew.
Is that a compliment, Sam?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Now, clap me in your Bastille.
Ah. Let's go. Watch your step there, Henry.
Somebody better go tell his ma.
But don't let his Aunt Louisa know. She'll have a conniption fit. I'm gonna go tell her.
Up this way, then. Hold on there. Okay. Well, it ain't much, Henry, but it's clean.
Ah, music too. Very soothing.
Now listen here, Henry. I gotta write down your age.
29 summers.
29. Occupation?
What you need that for, Sam?
If I don't fill this form out correctly, the board of selectmen ain't gonna pay your board.
Well, what's her occupation?
Oh, she's a vagrant.
So am I.
Oh, now, that's not an occupation. That's another charge for me to write down. Now, give me something respectable.
Oh, what am I? Hoer of beans? Pond fisherman? Inspector of snowstorms?
Them won't do. Give me a respectable occupation.
Respectable. Okay, pencil maker, occasionally. Teacher, once. Surveyor, carpenter, author, alleged, huckleberry hunter, expert.
Copper, K-A-P-T.
Risky, Sam. You'll shock the clergy locking up another carpenter.
Get rid.
Who is it? I'll get it.
I already have, dear.
I'll get it. I've got it. Oh, Lydia, what are you doing now?
It's Henry. He's in jail.
God help us. What's he done?
Oh, it's not clear.
He's murdered Deacon Ball. One of Henry's acts of mercy.
No.
They found Deacon Ball murdered and they're accusing Henry.
Deacon Ball hasn't been murdered.
Oh, that's too bad.
Every night, Louisa, every night I have this terrible nightmare. I dream David Henry is in jail. Tonight I didn't even have to go to sleep.
Henry, before I take my boots off for the night, won't you please pay up your taxes and let me let you out of here?
Take off your boots, Sam.
Lydia, I've got to get my boots on. Where's my coat? I've got to go down to Concord Square.
You're not going like that.
That poison trouble.
Henry, please pay up.
If you call on me, pay for a rifle, Sam, it's the same as asking me to fire it. You'd be making me as much a killer as the foot soldier who crashes across the border into faraway Mexico, charges into his neighbor's house, sets fire to it, and kills his children. Oh, Sam.
Yes, Henry?
Ah, forgot your keys.
Henry! Henry! What are you doing in jail?
Waldo, what are you doing out of jail? Ding, 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 ding. Now, in the prison of heaven, that's how the angels make music. So I'm told. Not having been there, not likely to be invited. You know what the government said to me, Bailey? Your money or your life. Well, I wouldn't give it my money, and they think they have my life. Only my body. I'm a free man. Free to touch my nose if I like, or not. Free to stand, or not to stand. They can't lock up my thoughts. What I believe goes easily through these walls, as if the stones were air. You know what the state said to us, Bailey? No. You know what the state did to us? It locked us up because it's scared. The state is timid as a lone woman with its silver spoons, and we have frightened her out of her wits.
Henry, you have enough wits to know that in order to get along, you need to go along.
Oh, go along! Go along! Go along! Go along!
Edith? Go along with Mr. Thoreau.
Where are we going?
Huckleberry hunting, my child. Would you like to study composition with Mozart? Or sculpture with Michelangelo? Study huckleberry hunting with Thoreau? It's the same thing. Now, when I was your age, my mother used to make huckleberry pudding, best in Concord. But all my mother and papa, my mom and papa, and my Uncle Charlie and Aunt Louisa, and my brother John got, all they got was the pudding. I had the glory of discovering the huckleberries, a half day of wild adventure under the Concord sky.
How do you find huckleberries? I want to discover some.
Huckleberries are very difficult to find, because most people think that they are over there.
Should I go over there?
No, ma'am. The best huckleberries have a sly way of being exactly where you are standing. Here. The trick of it is, you have to know where you stand.
Can I taste one right now?
Yes, but for every one you taste, you have to take 2 home.
They're good. Where's your basket?
I will use my tap, since my skull has precisely the same size, shape, and contents of a huckleberry pudding.
Look, here's a whole patch of them.
You have talent, no doubt about it.
Let's race and see who can get the most first.
Now that was a happy huckleberry.
I've got more than you have.
Oh, every berry does.
How does a huckleberry get to be a huckleberry instead of a strawberry?
No. There are a number of scholarly books and treatises written on that very subject. But eating a huckleberry makes you more of an expert than any botanist who wrote a dull book.
Look, Henry. Mine's filled all the way to the top. Mama should give me a big basket. They're all spilled and spoiled.
Whoa. Don't you know what you've done? You planted whole patches of huckleberries for an entire generation of Edith Emersons.
I have? How?
That's the way things are. Nature has provided that children searching for huckleberries should now and then stumble and scatter the berries. Edith, you have been as helpful as a honeycomb.
Let's pick some more. And spell them.
Now that's huckleberry-headed thinking. Here you go.
But those are yours.
I surrender title.
What does that mean?
Like most of the voodoo of ownership, it means absolutely nothing.
I wish you were my father.
Mama, these are for you. Oh, my, what a nice present. Thank you, Edith.
I guess really you should thank Henry.
Mr. Thoreau, dear.
Henry says I should call him Henry.
There's not too much formality in the huckleberry hunting business.
And Mama, I've asked Henry to be my father.
What about your real father?
He's never here. He's always way on the other side of the ocean, or out somewhere making speeches, or up in his room where I can't disturb him. But Henry,
Is here?
Why don't you take the huckleberries to the kitchen? Thank you.
if Henry's my father, that means you've got a husband, Mama. Not in England or someplace else all the time. Right here in our own house. Wouldn't that be nicer for you?
I suppose it isn't wise for you to continue working here while Waldo's away.
Please don't be afraid of me.
Shouldn't I be? Oh, you're going to tell me you have too much respect for the sage of Concord.
And his wife.
Respect is based on friendship, and friendship is based on love, and love is so accidental, isn't it, Henry?
Well, we love without knowing it. A man or a woman can't love on schedule. I don't wake up in the morning and say, I shall start loving at 5:23 and continue until 9:03. No, well, love is accidental, but yes, it's everywhere. It is the wind, the tide, the waves, the sunshine.
If love is all around you like huckleberries, why do you choose loneliness?
Mama, Henry, look what happened to the chicken's feet. He's wearing gloves.
Well, that's not how... He is wearing gloves.
Well, the other day, you said they were scratching in your garden and uprooting your rose plants, so I gave a little elegance to the ladies of the hen house. They've scratched their last, your roses are safe.
You've made them for all the chickens.
I'm opposed to social distinctions. Once one of the chickens is gloved, you cannot expect the others to go around barefooted.
Can I take him out to show him to everybody?
He's a she, and yes, I suppose you can.
But bring the lady home and latch the gate if you want an omelet for breakfast.
My roses, thank you.
Oh, very well.
Henry, why don't you get married? Find a face, teach yourself to love it.
I have. But I'm a crusty and resolute bachelor, and nature is my mother-in-law.
But there's so many pretty young women out there.
I would drive them promptly into old age, and I am not that cruel.
You need a brain to toss on the pillow beside you. What about Margaret Fuller?
Margaret Fuller. Oh, I couldn't marry her.
Why not?
One, I'd never be stupid enough to ask her. Two, she'd never be stupid enough to accept. But you want to play a matchmaker? Why don't you find me something innocent and natural and uncomplicated? A shrub oak, a cloud, or a leaf lost in the snow.
But isn't it lonely, Henry?
Lonely? Why, I'm no more lonely than the North Star, or the south wind, or the first spider in the new house. What about your loneliness, lady? Is it enough to go to bed each night with nothing but a letter from England telling of your husband's overwhelming passion for Carlyle? Isn't it a pity you're so safe with me?
I'm scared of a trial. I ain't got no lawyer. Of course, the food here ain't too bad. Would you be my lawyer?
I am no lawyer.
Couldn't you be one? For me? You talk like a lawyer, and you're smart as most.
Bailey, I would chop wood for you, push a wheelbarrow for you, I would give you my shoes, my coat, my last peck of beans, but I would not stoop to being a lawyer for anybody.
Well,
I think Lucifer was a lawyer. That's why the devil still advises the president.
who am I gonna get?
You know, if I were God, instead of just a speck of them, I wouldn't let you die alone in the dark.
Tell me what to do.
I suppose you could get yourself born in a more just and generous age. Not a very practical suggestion. I suppose we could try prayer.
I'm not very good at it.
Neither am I.
Could you say one for me?
Is the good Lord so almighty absent-minded that he needs a tap on the shoulder to remind him that Adam had children?
Prayer couldn't hurt no one.
Okay, let's send God a telegram. Blessed are the young, for they do not read the president's speeches. Blessed are they who never read a newspaper, for they shall see nature and through her God. And blessed is Bailey, for she is a good citizen and deserves better treatment than you've been giving her, even though she is now a man of letters. Amen.
Amen. Do you think it got through?
I'm not sure. I don't usually pray with words. I prefer the flute.
I have cast my vote. I've done it. I put it in the ballot box. What more do you want me to do?
Cast your whole vote, not just a slip of paper, your whole influence.
We have to go along with the majority.
Go along.
Henry, you have to consider the economic and sociological ramifications. When white people and black try to live together, it's infinitely complicated.
And simplify, simplify.
And you complicate things more by rushing them. You're a naturalist, Henry. You understand the slow unfolding of the seasons. It's the same with human relations. You can't rush a sunrise.
When a man who has escaped enslavement, enslaved territory, and the slave catcher's hounds is recaptured in your free state of Massachusetts, when this man's new birth of freedom is cut down by the rifle of a Boston policeman, do you think he has patience for Dr. Emerson's leisurely sermon on the slow evolving of the seasons?
Why are you being so disagreeable when I'm trying to agree with you?
I expect more from you than from anybody else. That's why I disagree.
Well, what do you expect from me?
Speak out.
I speak.
Don't just speak, shout.
I am not a shouter.
Not with your voice box, with your brain. I can't reach anybody, Waldo. Nobody listens to me, but by God, you're Emerson, darling of the Lyceum, lord of the lecture circuit. Every word you say from the platform is cherished like an heirloom. Stand up, Waldo, and say what you believe.
Sometimes I think I invented you, Henry. Or at least prophesied you. Because you live what I talk about. I couldn't exist the way you do. I need my warm toast and tea and soft-boiled egg brought to me on a tray in bed each morning. When I even think of Walden, I get a cold. But I admire you, Henry. I really do. You're my walking ethic. Those are the exact words I used to describe you to Carlyle. Did you know I told Carlyle about you?
I don't care what you told Carlyle.
I told Carlyle, of all the men in Concord, Henry Thoreau is the best of the lot. That's what I told him. A poet as full of buds of promise as a young apple tree. That's what I said.
Waldo, don't talk about me. Talk to me. Listen to me.
What was that?
Can you lie in bed every morning, have your breakfast brought to you, your soft-boiled egg, your toast, your tea, Can you lift your right hand to your mouth while your left hand, which is also you, your government is killing men in Mexico? How can you swallow, Waldo? How can you taste? How can you breathe? You cast your ballot with your right hand, but is your left hand re-enslaving people, striving to be free?
Just because I don't rant like Jeremiah doesn't mean I'm not outraged. I do what can be done.
Do more. Do the impossible. Hey, that's what you tell people in your lectures, but, oh, you don't believe any of it, do you? You trundle up and down New England with that beneficent smile, stepping to the lectern, collecting the handshakes of mayors and the polite applause of little old ladies. You go on singing your spineless benedictions.
What I say is not spineless.
Oh, occasionally you've sounded the battle cry, but you yourself refuse to hear it.
You are a very difficult man.
Good. The world's too full of easy men.
Do you propose I go out and advocate violence and revolution?
I'm asking you to stop violence. And as for revolution, what do you think happened to this country? What, do you think it was hatched from one of your soft-boiled eggs? Look around Concord. What do you see? We have become everything we protested against.
And what are you doing about it, young man? You pull the woods up over your head. You resign from the human race. Are your woodchucks and fish going to build roads, teach school, put out fires? It's very easy for a hermit to sit at a distance and say how things should be done. But what if we all did that? Where would we be?
Where are we, Waldo?
We are at war. I am aware of that.
Are you aware of the reasons? Slaveholders grasping for more slave territory? More slavery and less freedom? Is that what you want?
Henry, we must work within the framework of our laws. The end to this war, the condition of the blacks, that is the business of the President and the Congress.
You really believe that? And I guess I'm wrong. I thought you had the same disgust I have for what the military is doing. But if it doesn't trouble you, then I must have made a mistake. You are right to stand still. I'm going back to my woodchucks and leave you at peace with your war.
All right, my young conscience. What should I do?
Declare yourself!
I will, absolutely. The first time the occasion arises...
No! Now! A year ago was too late! I'll get you an audience. This afternoon in Concord Square.
Fire someplace? What's the news? Is the war over?
What are you doing up there, Henry? What's going on?
Dr. Emerson's coming to speak. He's promised to make a statement. Right here, right now. Can't wait.
David Henry, are you riling everybody up again?
Oh, Emerson's going to rile up the whole country, and you're going to hear it first.
Is he actually going to say something or just give us?
Oh, both, God willing.
Dr. Emerson's going to speak now?
I just left him. He's on his way.
And no much trash either.
But where is he?
He's coming. Don't worry. He'll be here.
Dr. Emerson has asked me to tell you
Yes.
that he needs more time to meditate on the matter so that he can write a careful essay setting forth his position.
And he sent his wife here with the happy job of telling us, like a walking written excuse to a schoolmaster saying, "So sorry, Tommy cannot come in today. He's at home in bed with the crew."
Waldo needs time to collect his thoughts.
What is this, the winter of our content? By the time he collects his thoughts, they'll be as dead as dandelions under the snow.
Well, we come run into the fire, but nobody lit it. That's Henry for you.
Henry, my husband loves you as much as any man could love another man.
Oh my God. He was my God, but no more. If he is a deity, I am a doubter.
Why do you enjoy hurting him?
It is he who hurts me.
He hears what you think, and sometimes he gets excited and overstates himself.
Patronizing, that's what he is. I will not sit at the foot of his pulpit.
When he talks to you,
Talks to me. He doesn't talk to me. Was he talking to me just now? He was off in England, pontificating with Carlyle.
you widen the distance.
It's a waste of breath. Talking to your husband, trying to have a sane discussion with him, I lose my time, almost my identity.
I hear you both. You wrangle and tussle like boys in a cricket match, hitting and pushing and kicking each other, not for the sake of the idea, just playing to win.
Your husband, Mrs. Emerson, has the misfortune of being a gentleman and famous, and he is drowning in his own success.
My husband's best friend doesn't even know who my husband is. You have an ideal in your mind, an imaginary Waldo, one you want him to be. Please, Henry, give him the same liberty he gives you to be what you are.
Citizens of Concord, how do we make a sound? How do we break the silence?
Word to kill! Word to kill! Word to kill! So you will be killed!
I'm gonna shoot him out with a nut to it!
David! Very great! Why doesn't that man have a gun?
Henry, I got something here for you. Henry, take this.
I don't want it.
The purpose of this action is to stop the enemy from protecting themselves from the enemy.
I won't go.
That's a good boy, David Henry. Always do the right thing, even if it's wrong.
Mr. President, the military advises that we conquer the entire territory. Level them all to rubble. Are you prepared to go along?
Is this man saying something? I can't hear him.
What are your instructions, Mr. President?
I wish more time to collect my thoughts. So I will appoint a committee, to appoint a committee, to appoint a committee. Get to the bottom of things so the top will know what to do.
Mr. President, she only wanted to pick huckleberries.
I propose to write a careful essay outlining my position.
Please, somebody say something. Somebody speak out.
Mr. Speaker, gentlemen of the Congress, this unnecessary war was unconstitutionally commenced by the President, who may be telling us the truth, but he is not telling the whole truth. He has swept the war on in showers of blood. His mind, taxed beyond its powers, is whirling out like some tortured creature on a burning surface. Stop the war, Mr. President. For the love of God, stop this war.
Oh, I do not know who you are, Mr. Congressman, and I doubt if the people of Illinois will re-elect you now that you refuse to go along. But I'll remember who you are, Congressman Lincoln. John, don't die. Not again. God, please don't let him die.
Henry, wake up. I got something for you. Wake up.
I don't want it.
Well, the porridge ain't very good, but the cocoa's hot.
Oh, morning, Sam. Is it morning?
Yeah, it's morning. Here's a pot of cocoa. Have you heard the news?
What news?
It's finished.
The war?
No, the wire that they've been running down to Texas. Now a fella down in New York can talk to a fella down in Texas electric, as fast as he can talk.
But Sam, what if nobody in New York has anything to say to anybody in Texas?
Just something I thought you might like to know, Henry. Another thing, anytime you have a hankering to, you can leave.
Leave?
Overnight, your taxes get paid.
Who did it?
Ain't material for me to say.
Well, did Dr. Emerson do it?
No, sir.
My mother.
No.
Did you, Sam?
Henry, I offered. You flat out refused.
Mrs. Emerson, did she come and pay it?
Now listen, quit poking around trying to get me to tell you. I promised your Aunt Louisa that I would.
Aunt Confounded Louisa!
Oh, no.
Freaking cursed with the charity of my mother's sister. Louisa, why couldn't you leave your nose and your false teeth out of my life? I hereby excommunicate you from the Milky Way!
It's been nice having you, Henry. Here's your receipt.
I don't want it. You can't accuse me of paying my tax.
Yeah, but they've been paid.
Not by me. I am still guilty.
Listen, a man can't stay in jail if there's no charge against him. I can't even bring you your lunch.
You going already?
He's going.
No!
Listen, the law put you here. The law says when you're out.
It's gonna be God almighty quiet around here. What's wrong?
Everything's wrong. When a man only thinks about himself. Sam, you know what quid pro quo means?
Is that one of them Harvard words?
What it means that if you can ensure that Bailey here gets her trial, not in another 3 months or another 3 weeks, but right away, then maybe I'll favor your law by walking out into the sidewalk, not before.
Ain't my pal. I don't make decisions like that.
Good night, Sam.
It's morning, Henry.
Not for me, not until you let Bailey out.
I'll do what I can. I'll talk to the selectmen and the judge.
Tell them that unless Bailey here gets her trial right away, they're going to have another eaten, not paying guest in their jail permanently.
Well, thank ye. I'm never gonna forget this night here. And when I'm out, maybe I'll come visit you at your pond place.
You know, Bailey, I may not be there at my pond place. Seems to me I have several more lives to live, and I don't know if I can spare any more time for that one.
It seems just about perfect.
And that's the trouble. If I stay there much longer, I might live there forever. And you have to think twice before accepting heaven on terms like that. Bailey, have you ever taken a boat trip?
Riverboat only.
Well, if you buy a cabin ticket or an ocean passage, they give you liberty of the whole ship. And it's a privilege that should be used. A man shouldn't stay the whole voyage just in one place below decks, no matter how dry and cozy it is and warm. I think I'll have to roam the whole ship a while, alone aloft. Go before the mast, stand out there on the foredeck. Bailey, I tried to escape. But escape is like sleep. And when sleep is permanent, it's death. I must leave Walden. It is not necessary to be there in order to be there.
Bright morning. Gonna be a fine July day out there.
Sometimes the light gets so bright that it puts your eyes out, and then it's just darkness all over again. But there's more day to dawn. The sun is only a morning star,